Happy Saturday, you guys. Oh, I had to film this video this early because I'm actually at a horse show today. So sorry. And I will be at a horse show Saturday when this is released, but I wanted to make sure I released video. Hopefully there will be stories to come home and tell you guys about when while I'm there. And I knew I wasn't gonna, and then I get home Sunday, so it's like both days. And anyway, so we're gonna talk about something, again, obvious, but I like to see how they cover it in the news. This is gonna be from the BBC, but basically it's gonna be women revealing themselves. It's gonna be, there's so much truth in the lies, and that's what I like to pick apart. I haven't even read this article yet, and today's going to be part 1, and then Sunday's going to be part 2. And let's get into it. Welcome back to Far From Eden. I almost forgot to welcome you to the channel, and I think on the last video I forgot to say please hit like, and I know you haven't seen the video yet. How do you know you're going to like it? You don't. But later on as the video goes, if you think, hey, I kind of like this, hit the thumbs up. So that, you know, YouTube's like, oh, other people might like it too. We'll share it. Other people will see it. So, from the BBC, very credible news source. Sarcasm, again, for people watching with subtitles. No, I don't trust the BBC. I trust the BBC to say the things that are beneficial for the British government, just like I don't trust ABC, NBC, CNN, Fox News, Canada, whatever. No. Anyway, that's why it's fun to read what they have to say. And this is written by Katie Bishop. So we get to hear from a woman. It is entitled, Why Women File for Divorce More Than Men. Like I said, I haven't read this yet. So, statistically, women call time on their marriages more than men. What's with the big discrepancy, and will it stay this way? The decision to end a marriage is often difficult, and couples may spend months or even years soul searching before calling it quits. But when it comes to initiating a split, there's a clear pattern There's a clear pattern in who makes the final call. In Western heterosexual relationships, well, we should definitely be clear, yes, in Western heterosexual relationships, women catalyze an enormous proportion of divorces. Funny, because I've seen on shows women try to say that's not true, they don't initiate it that many times. Well, I guess we're saying the truth now, I guess. This is from May 2022, just checking. All right, so they're admitting it. Well, I don't know if they're admitting how much. In the US specifically, where no-fault divorce is legal in all 50 states, some estimates put the figure at 70%. In the UK, ONS statistics showed women petitioned for 62% of divorces in England and Wales in 2019. First of all, I don't like even how it's talked about, how divorce is talked about, calling it quits. You're talking about a marriage. You're talking about children. Calling it quits and soul searching. There's no soul searching. That's the problem. If you have to search your soul about whether you should end a marriage, you better search for your soul. Because it's a big deal. And we are so flippant in our culture about it. It's absolutely disgusting. That's not a marriage. It's not a marriage. Anyway, now, in some Western countries, divorce is becoming easier. The UK, for instance, recently legalized no-fault divorces. Oh, that's new. Which means couples now have a quicker... Oh no, that's not good for the men over there. I'm so sorry, you guys. A quicker and more straightforward route to breakup. This change in rules could open the door for even more women who might have been hesitant before. Oh, they were hesitant to file for divorce? Poor babies. You should be able to just rip his heart out easily. You know, destroy your kids quickly. There shouldn't be all this red tape. Oh my gosh. Why, though, are women disproportionately choosing to divorce in the first place? For some, the answer lies in how partners do or don't meet their emotional needs in marriage. Please see my video about men can't make wives happy. I think that's what it's called. It's not your responsibility to meet their emotional needs. Yet for others, things are more complicated. And there may be more nuance to these statistics than it seems. I hate the word nuance so much. I heard it before, but like, I swear that word since at least 2020, it's like everybody's favorite word. And it just, to me, the way it's being used is, it's so complicated. There's so many things, like, and I'm like, that sounds like BS to me. That sounds like reasons and excuses. That sounds like when I want to say, this is wrong, you want to say, well, it depends on the situation, da, 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 da. Moral relativism. That's what that is, moral relativism. Emotional needs. That's not a thing, okay? Not the way they're using it. He's not your girlfriend, okay? That's what they mean. Hold on a second. Can't see you guys when I'm doing this. He's not your girlfriend, and he's not your gay best friend. He's not that, and he's not supposed to be. And at the end of the day, you don't really want him to be. You don't. You might think you do, but as soon as he's that, you won't respect him. And you'll be scared because now you're both chicks, and where's the man? Emotional needs. No. Nope. The importance of independence. Oh, that's another one of my favorite words. Sorry, I'm so cranky right now, but this really, I got fired up. I think the last video got me fired up too. The importance of independence. In most societies, divorce has been a relatively recent phenomenon. Indeed. In the UK, divorce was extremely uncommon before 1914, with just one divorce in every 450 marriages in the first decade of the 20th century. Now more than 100,000 couples in the UK get divorced every year, and in the US, around half of marriages end in divorce. Breakup of the nuclear family. As Heidi Carr, a psychologist and expert on DV at the US-based Education Development Center, explains, it's no coincidence that the rise of divorce has coincided with women's liberation. Yeah, that's true, Heidi. That's true, but I bet you I have a different take on it than she does. Because economic independence, here it comes. Here comes the lie. I already know this lie. The lie is, they would have left before, but they didn't have the means to leave. Now, when they're being beaten all to heck every single day, because that's what men do, now they can leave. No. Okay. Because economic independence is an imperative before a woman can attempt to leave a marriage, either alone or with children to support. It's extremely difficult for women to leave a marriage unless they have some way to make money on their own, she says. Also, because gender roles become more complicated as women start to gain financial independence, more marital conflict naturally arises. Not naturally arises. When you pull women out of their intended role, yes, conflict's going to arise within herself also. In other words, women's entry into the workforce enabled them to leave unhappy marriages for the first time. That's not a reason to leave a marriage. Your life isn't going to be happy every day of your life, and it isn't the responsibility of your spouse to make it so. It's an impossibility anyways. That's ridiculous. They were no longer financially bound to remain in abusive partnerships or relationships where their needs were not being met, and women thus began to initiate divorces at a greater scale. Hypergamy was released. I translated it for us. Quote, across cultures and geographies, women who are economically able to take care of themselves are more likely to initiate divorce. Yeah, but it's not for that reason. It's because they are uppity and they think they're better and they think they deserve more, and they're unhappy because they're in the workforce, not because of the guy or the marriage. This also helps explain why women with university level education are so much more likely to end a marriage. Oh my gosh, it's like 90%. If she has like a PhD or an upper degree. It's crazy. It's all that indoctrination. She's not gonna stay married. She's trained not to. Across cultures I already said that. Yeah. Where did I? So sorry. I should hold my place, but I get all into it. Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm doing it. University level education, right? Across cultures and geographies, women who are economically able to take care of themselves, which usually is tied to higher education levels, are more likely to initiate divorce than women who are unable economically sustain themselves and their children, adds Carr. That is such baloney. That is not why those women initiate divorces more. No, it is not. Those women are more unhappy because they have wasted their fertile years in college and building up their career, and they are, working, and we are not best suited for that. We are best suited to work in the home, to actually work in the home, to raise the children, to homeschool the children, to do all those things. And when we are not there, we are not happy. But I guess it's all his fault. Wow. Emotional and social factors. Still, increased economic independence alone doesn't explain why women have become so much more likely to initiate divorce than their husbands. Yet the percentage of women initiating divorces has continued to rise, and the reasons are manifold. But though I just remembered that people who are well off divorce less. And it's not like women walk away with nothing. The courts make sure that's not going to happen. So they're going to be able to sustain the kid on their own. It's clearly because of that education they have and that degree they have. And think about it. The types of women who are likely to go and prioritize education and prioritize that are not the women who will prioritize other people like their spouse or their children. So that is why those women are filing for divorce. It is not because, they have the ability to support the kids. No. Nice try, though. For many women, the expectations they have when they enter marriage may fail to match up to reality. Now, there you go. She said something true. Good job. I forgot her name already. Experts say that they often have a higher expectation of how a partner will meet their emotional needs than men, which can lead to disappointment post-wedding. Yes, because they think he's going to be their emotional tampon. And he's not. He's a man. Okay? That's for not even your girlfriends, because it is not good. You don't talk to your girlfriend about your husband. Maybe if you've been up late, because the baby's been sick or whatever it is, you're gonna sort of be like, I need to, do the woman thing. That's what a sister or a friend or your mother is for. That is not what he is for. He has to be serious and keep the lights on and the roof over your head and all of that and deal with all the stuff in the outside world. He has to do that. He is not wired to be your emotional tampon. It's just not. And you shouldn't get mad at him. And it's so funny that men don't have the same expectations and disappointment, because men understand that life is tough. They understand. And it's funny because actually, no, sorry. Men's expectations are often not met. But they don't jump ship because of it. They probably go into the marriage and think, oh, she's going to be how she said she was going to be. But the whole show and the dating persona that got you down the aisle, suddenly a little different. She's a little different now. It's not that their expectations aren't met. They go, well, you know, we are married now. We're together all the time. This is life. Not everybody's perfect all the time. I'm sure I'm not the best all the time. This is what a man would be thinking. He's not like, well, I think this is over. It's just, the man doesn't throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak, the way that the women do. And they never did. It's just not their way. They're loyal. Gilza Fort Martinez, a Florida U.S.-based licensed couples therapist who specializes in, she's gonna be a treat. I already know it. Who specializes in conflict resolution, says because men are usually socialized to have lower emotional intelligence than women, this can lead to female partners feeling unsupported and doing much of the emotional labor in the relationship. Well, who has higher emotional intelligence? Is it the person who cannot control their feelings and lives by their feelings, or is it the person who can be more stoic and deal in fact and bring emotion in when it's called for? Depends on how you define emotional intelligence, but I think just being more like a toddler is not more intelligent with it. But if you want to say just having all kinds of emotions makes you emotionally intelligent, go for it. Yeah, and that's emotional labor. If emotional labor is making up a bunch of, like, making a mountain out of a molehill, if that's what emotional labor is, yeah, women do a lot of that. This emotional intelligence also means women are more finely attuned to problems and relationship red flags. What did I say? Making crap up that doesn't need, like, stop making a big fuss over everything. Just let things roll off your back. Not everything's intentional. Not everything. Don't assign meaning to everything. Don't make everything. You know what? This is what people do when they're not busy enough. I don't think women are busy enough. When they were in the home and they were actually taking care of the home and actually raising their own children, they were too busy to be making mountains out of molehills. They had perspective. Yeah, they make and relationship red flags and their tendency to be the primary communicators. Oh, women are the primary communicators. That's because they won't shut up. I'm so sorry. And empathizers, yeah, for themselves or when it suits them, means that they may also be the first to raise issues. Here we are again, perhaps ultimately resulting in separation or divorce. Yeah, because she's going to have a giant tantrum over something that doesn't really matter that much or wasn't intentional, or she can't, have any grace and be forgiving because she's perfect. Women also tend to gain fewer emotional benefits from marriage. What does that even mean? Emotional benefits. Good God. I gotta underline that because we're gonna, at one point in time, gonna need to talk about emotional benefits. Sorry, I got super close. I just saw myself. I'm not trying to give you guys nightmares. I just want to underline emotional benefits because that's amazing. There's so much sarcasm. I don't know if the people who read the subtitles, because they don't speak English, this is gonna be lost. Emotional benefits from marriage, which could make single life seem more appealing. Now that's true. The grass is always greener. Eve is always like, but what about that tree? What about that fruit? I know I have everything and everything's perfect, but I want that fruit. While married men experience multiple perks, including living longer and earning more money when they have an actual wife. Let's see how these men do now when they just have a female roommate. That's basically a parasite. We'll see. Women don't usually benefit from their relationship in the same way. Yeah, because they're not grateful, so you're not going to benefit. Like, okay. Instead, they bear the brunt of household and child-rearing labor, as they should. That should be their job. Okay, what's the problem with that? Which can leave working women overwhelmed and stressed. Yeah, because they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be. That's not where we shine. It's not where we're content. It's not where we find joy. Women also tend to have more close friends than men. That's not good for us. And we don't have friends. We have allies. Because go back to yesterday's video about psychopathy. Meaning they have a better support system. No, both to discuss any marital issues as well as to ease the transition back into single life. Now they have covens, basically, where they go in and they bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch and complain, like whose husband, whose man is the worst, and give each other terrible advice. And yeah, it's not good. It's not good for them. Your female friends do not have your best interest in mind. They don't. They don't. It's also possible these friendships make divorce seem like a more plausible option. Research suggests that if a close friend gets divorced, people's own chances of divorcing rise by 75%. Good Lord. Can you imagine? Okay, so that's part 1 of the article, and Sunday, tomorrow, we will do part 2. Can you imagine? It's like you're more likely to get divorced if your friends do. Does that not prove that women are filing for divorce for BS reasons and they're going to be miserable because they're looking towards greener grass and they're unhappy in their relationship? But it really isn't because of him. Now, I'm not saying it. All men are perfect and they don't make mistakes. Good Lord knows that a lot of men are glitching and malfunctioning, and a lot of it's, since women's lib, because the balance and the order of everything is off. It doesn't work to have a man and woman having a marriage and it's like we are roommates that have sex and split bills? He works, she works, they both split the household chores, and neither one of them raise the kids because the kid's in school, the kid's on his tablet, and nobody's raising the kid, nobody's teaching the kid anything. So that doesn't work. And I'm looking at outcomes. I'm looking at what I see in front of me. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And all of this is based on the lie that women before liberation were just trapped in miserable marriages. That means that men tend to be horrible. And that's not true. They're not. Are there some bad ones? Yes, of course there are. They're humans and there are some bad ones, but that is not the majority, not by any means. Women are terrible at picking, and their fathers used to basically choose for them. They had a say, but you can't trust, a young woman judging which man would make a good husband. She says, we're not good at that. We're not good at that. We can't tell the difference, And again, how do I know that? Look around. I know it from my own experience. I know it from men that I chose back, 20-something years ago when I was in the market, so to speak. And I was like, I know what to pick. No, I didn't. Sure didn't. And they don't either, and you can see it. And then they blame these guys, and it's a very small percentage of the men. You guys in the comments, you guys are men. That's who men are. The vast majority. I'm so fired up. I actually feel dizzy. So I'm gonna take a breath, calm myself down, and finish the rest of this for tomorrow's episode. There's only so much we can all take, right? Only so much. Thanks for hanging out with me again. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all your comments. I'm gonna try to be in the comments over the weekend when I get break here and there. I'm gonna be checking in. I know I'm overdue with emails. It's so bad. It's so bad. I have no good reason. It's just, disorganized, I guess. I don't know. But I need to get better and have certain days where I just do emails. So I appreciate all of you guys, and I want you to be well. I want you to do something that fills your soul. Take care of yourself. I love you, and I'll see you on the next one.